Welcome to Nothing's Off the Table, the show where politics, culture, and current events collide, and we say what everyone else is thinking. I'm Noel. This is my partner.
Yeah, I'm Roy 9G. Give us a like and subscribe, and make sure you stay for the survival tip of the day. Let's go.
Absolutely. Now, please read that article.
Okay, hundreds of Minnesota businesses closed to protest ICE presence. This is today, Friday, January 23rd, 2026. Hundreds of businesses in Minnesota shut their doors on Friday, and thousands of protesters turned out in the frigid cold as part of an economic protest against the immigration crackdown in the state. The widespread rallies come after organizers called for residents to skip work or school and refrain from shopping in a show of opposition to U.S. immigration and customs enforcement, better known as ICE. The ICE operation ordered by the Trump administration in the state have been going on for more than 6 weeks. The administration has characterized it as a public safety operation aimed at deporting criminals illegally in the country, while critics warn migrants with no criminal record and U.S. citizens are being detained too. On Friday, about 100 clergy members were arrested at the Minneapolis airport while holding a protest calling on U.S. airlines to refuse to transport detainees arrested by ICE. Wow. We want ICE out of Minnesota, and we want ICE out of every state with their extreme overreach, said the Bishop Dwayne Royster, whose organization, Faith in Action, is supporting local partners in Minneapolis during the strike. We want Congress to stand up and provide oversight to ICE. All right. That's good. So look, let's talk about this ICE, man. What's going on?
Let's get into it. I'm going to say this. Hashtag melt ICE. That's what we should all be on. Businesses should not cater to ICE. When they come in there wanting to go to the Mexican restaurant nearest them to eat a good hot meal, they should be denied. No shoes, no shirt, no ICE. That sign needs to be in the window. No shoes, No shirt, no ice, no service. Period.com. It is absolutely unacceptable and a travesty that we have lawlessness from a supposed law enforcement agency running rapid throughout the United States. It is past time for this to come to an end. We cannot have folks out here wearing masks, detaining a 5-year-old, trying to get his mom to come out of her house. They were not criminals. They were here legally. And this organization had the audacity and gall to use a 5-year-old. And then that lion ass JD Vance got on TV talking about that they were holding him because what? Should they have just let him freeze outside by himself? That's just a bold-faced lie. There were so many adults willing to take that little boy and make sure he was okay. But no, this agency is just awful. They are awful.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. It is. It's pretty terrible. It's rough. This is some rough days in America, but I think the administration is playing us too, right? In the sense that, like, I mean, we talked on previous shows, what they tend to do better than, I say, the masses, let's say particularly Black people in our country. They move with a different timeline. They're always some steps ahead of us because, you know, we're caught up in being socialized to watch like the immediacy almost, right? So, for instance, like I know a lot of Black people who they're detached from it, right? Because they feel like all they see, like for instance, what do you see on TV every day is that you see the ice raids, right? That has our sole focus, right? But when you start to look at the legislature and how all this segregation, Black people are under attack too.
Absolutely.
But I don't know if Black people understand they're under attack because they're not being attacked physically, right? We're under attack by all this legislature getting passed and them trying to take us back to Jim Crow. They're trying to do away with the 1964
Civil Rights Act. Absolutely.
They've already knocked out with federal contractors. You can go look it up where they're allowed to. Segregation is legal again. You can actually segregate in our country as a federal contractor if you want to. They've already shown you have no Black people or people of color have no win with the EEOC now, right? They've shown you this. They put this white woman on TV to show you that this is for white people, right? So while they're attacking with the stuff that has us watching TV, it's so much other stuff that's going on that's underreported, right? Like this is something that's been happening. It's popping up on TikTok. Let me show you. This is going to flip you out. People have been traveling overseas, and when they get overseas, their passports are being found out to be invalid. Somebody has reported their passport stolen, right?
Wow.
So when they get to these countries say, "Oh, your passport is invalid. We got to send you back." Okay, this is starting to happen already. People are talking about this, right? They're booking these flights, going through check-in, getting on international flights, getting to a destination, and they say, "Hey, somebody has reported your passport stolen." And what's interesting, when they break down, that's not something that's easily done. Like you're supposed to have information to prove that it's actually you to saying it's stolen, right? Okay, so you know it's a lot going on, right? And I'm almost absolutely sure that that ICE is the ball that's put in our face here. Because we cannot look at it, right? We cannot not look at it, right?
Right. Well, I'm gonna tell you, they do have a full court press. They are doing everything right now, and the news cycle, it's 24 hours literally. There are at least 24 things that are taking place every day that in a quote unquote normal administration you might have 5 to 10 things that would be making national news. I remember the days, and I say that like it was a long time ago, over a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, that you can watch the nightly news and you could see 5 or 6 stories of what the previous president of the United States may have been associated with. Some on a national level, him interacting with leaders from other countries, uh, him, working on legislation that was going to support Americans here in this country, and then you would see stories from just various places in the United States of the world. It was not a stressful 30 minutes, but today you wake up first thing in the morning and you like, what did this carrot do today? And I'm using kind words to describe them.
Yeah, did you see where they snuck in? Where they sent the memo to ICE that says they have the right to run into people's houses?
Oh, I saw that nonsense. But see, that's the thing about that. That is a memo that does not supersede the Constitution. And I know in states across the United States where you have open carry laws, where you have stand your ground laws, I've seen online where people have been posting, yeah, these masked men show up or masked people show up. What's the difference between them and a burglar? You don't know the difference. So
Yeah,
I don't know
it's
if
gonna be terrible.
as a law enforcement officer, you would want to do anything like that. Why put yourself in jeopardy?
I mean, they want to do it because they want the power, just like no knock raids. That's weird, but it's still done, right? But so, for instance, check this out. This is something that hasn't really been reported. I saw, and I was driving around yesterday, and I didn't understand why it was so much traffic. But I saw a white woman on one of these social media apps talking about it. They had shut down 35, okay, and they was funneling people to an exit ramp, and through the exit ramp was the feds. They were checking people's cars.
Wow.
So
So what was the purpose of them checking people's cars?
this is ICE enforcement.
Wow.
This is ICE enforcement. Look out here. I told you. I don't know if they do it in Atlanta. They've been running up in strip clubs. Okay,
No,
they're
look,
snatching. They're snatching dancers out of the. That's what I'm saying. They don't care. It don't matter, right?
see, they could get away with that in Texas because they have that suck ass governor. He's Captain Racism. So they could get away with that. And in Georgia,
Georgia's a terrible state too.
but yeah, it is. But Kemp is a little different. Kemp's not going to stand for, and the city of Atlanta is not going to stand for them doing some of the things that we're seeing in Minneapolis. Like Chicago didn't stand for it.
I mean, Chicago. What they do? They got swept up in that too.
They did, and then
yeah,
they did, and then the courts ruled that ICE had to get the hell out of there. So it was a little different, but more importantly, the citizens in Chicago stood up quickly. I mean, they started galvanizing, and you saw tens of thousands of people in the street, like it's looking today in Minneapolis in the cold. We're talking 10 degrees below zero, and they standing up in the cold. Shout out to the folks in Minnesota and Minneapolis. We are definitely sending you guys all the good energy, and we are pushing the word out there because you deserve better. You absolutely deserve better. We all deserve better.
And look, I actually think they're wasting their time. I think it's already done. Them standing outside in the cold, it's going to make the news, but it's not going to change anything. So, I mean, I know it might feel good for them to be able to say, "Hey, we want this to stop," but there are no guardrails. Like the country as we previously, it's not even as we previously knew it. I think it's the country is just taking off its mask, and they're just comfortable with having it off now. And I think people need to be thinking more about how to survive this next wave of America, more so than trying to think that they can stop it now.
And I think they have to. I think we have to do both. I'm not going to say that them out there protesting is in vain. I'm not going to say that. I can't believe that. I have to hold on, because there was a time in this country where our ancestors were lynched, and they weren't allowed to vote. And those folks out there wearing that ICE crap are descendants of that history. The Trumps, the Vance, I don't know what Stephen Miller's issue is. He's just a clown that got clowned, and now he is doing what he's doing.
Look, we always miss the mark in America. Like, for instance, they'll go out there and protest, right? But we're all still using Amazon.
Oh, that's the next thing. We need to leave Amazon alone.
We're all still on Facebook.
We need to get off of TikTok. We need to get off of Facebook.
That's what I'm saying. Like, all that outside, I mean, it's cool for TV, right? Like, those circumstances have changed. This is not.
It has to come with real action outside of
not 1960. Yeah, like you know very well. The only reason they changed then was outside pressure from the outside world because of shame.
Oh, right? Absolutely. That is the only
people
reason.
Have no shame.
No shame. They have no shame.
None.
They have absolutely no shame. But those individuals that have profited off of racism, i.e. Zuckerberg, and some of these other tech folks, they have to feel the pain. They have to feel the pain like the citizens of Minneapolis are feeling the pain. They have to feel the pain just the same. So folks have to be willing to make that sacrifice. We have to get off of Facebook. We have to get off of Instagram. We have to get off of TikTok. We have to stop using Google. We have to leave Amazon alone. We have to. What are you willing to sacrifice?
But I don't I see nobody connecting these dots. They'll go out. Those same people out there today, like I know, they got a package coming from Amazon tomorrow, and they're not understanding what's going on with this technocracy, whatever. Like, this is what's happening in our face, right? They are not connected. I see this nowhere on TV talked about, right? That, look, to me, it's super scary now that Amazon is doing the pharmacy thing. You see, you can get the drugs from Amazon.
Man, yeah. Man, I don't
Right.
trust that shit at
Like this
all.
shit is look. What they not gonna look? I thought monopolies were supposed to exist in America.
Oh man,
Right?
that went out the window.
I thought they had antitrust laws.
Oh,
Like,
that's all of that's
this is
out the window. That is
no
not
laws exist.
that
Right?
all of that's off the table in this administration.
That's
It's
what
going
Trump has shown us too. That no laws really exist. They don't.
correct. They have never, but we always knew that there were a different set of standards and expectations when it came to law in the United States.
Absolutely, especially when it comes
If
to
you were white, you were right. If you was black, you better get in the back, because justice was not, well, the chances of it prevailing for you was on the slim side.
I will say this: the only I really believe this too. This is something that's changed a lot from the Jim Crow days and to today. Is that, and see, that's one thing. Thank goodness they aren't the smartest people, right? Because I think if they were a little smartest, and I mean the administration, they could have eased all this stuff in without so much of a fuss, really. Because a large piece of white people would be cool with so much of what's going on, right? Okay.
Completely. If they weren't being impacted,
they just eased it in, but because they've been so abrupt with it, right? But we also have a different, even with them hitting us, and I think this is all purposeful too, right? We talk about hip hop being a negative influence, right? But American culture is violent. When you talk about movies, shows,
video games,
the whole, and what's weird, America think everywhere is like this. It's certain countries they don't allow certain games and
correct
and stuff that they can't watch this stuff, right? Their kids can't play. What they waiting for? The Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yes,
they can't play gangsters in the street. Video game,
correct.
Right?
Correct.
So this is some American shit, right? So, but you know what that feeds? That feeds the gun lobby, right?
Oh, it does. Absolutely does.
They've made a mistake now because with that, you have so many Americans now. And I'm talking about every color of American out here got a gun. Okay.
Absolutely.
I know quite a few people with assault rifles. Right. So,
and why do you need that?
Right, what do you ask? What do you ever use? Maybe this is why they bought it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
I always hear the response of, well, it's just in case, of a civil war. Well, now, unfortunately,
it looks scary. It's like we might be headed towards
very, very scary. Very scary.
But that maybe them understanding that will keep them at bay from doing certain things because they know the populace is so armed, right? But I don't know.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting what's going on. At the end of the day, there is no excuse for them taking a 5-year-old and detaining him. There is no excuse for them killing a woman because she was trying to drive around them. There is no excuse for locking up United States citizens for no reason.
Yeah, you see lots of people getting arrested right now.
Yeah, a lot of people are getting arrested. And it's unacceptable. It is absolutely unacceptable. And for all of those folks out there that voted for this bullshit, you need to be standing on the front line.
I mean, I know some of those people too.
The black ones and the white ones and the Hispanic ones. If you voted for this shit, you need to be standing on the front line. You need to apologize for falling for the banana in the tailpipe, you need to get out there and get people registered to vote. And you need to be standing on the front line of every city where ICE has stepped down. Period.
I pray we have a midterm election. I pray.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we better. We better.
Or what?
Shit, it'll be
What? That's all I'm asking. Like, what's the flashpoint? Like,
we have passed the flashpoint.
That's what I'm, and nothing is. That's what I'm saying. Ain't nothing. I'm surprised people on TV still talking about the upcoming midterms. Why would they believe that anything is going to happen legitimately? That something's not going to. When have they followed the law? When will the Epstein files be released? Right?
Period.
Okay.
Hashtag release the Epstein files. So unredacted, because we know he's in there. We know that he has done things to children, not just him, but other people like him. Look, the word on the street.
Let me ask you this. Should I, based on what we've seen, should I believe they're going to have midterms?
Yes. Yes, you should. Yes, you should. Yeah, you absolutely should.
Why? Why do you think that's still going to be a legitimate election?
Oh, it's going to be a legitimate election. Today is January 23rd, 26th. There is going to be an election. There will be midterms, and the Democratic Party will be the party that's in charge. I can't say that what that means, because we just saw some Democrats that voted to put more money in ICE. That's disgusting. And those Democrats need to be voted out, because ICE needs to be put on ice.
Okay, so this is what you're saying. They're going to cheat in everything. They're going to cheat and violate the law in every way until it gets to the midterms. Then they're going to allow the midterms to go down as per usual.
They aren't going to have a choice. They aren't going to have a choice. They are not going to have a choice.
He already tried. Look, if this group of people were around him his first term, he would have never left office.
Well, now, because remember, there were a few reasons that he left office last time. First of all, the debacle with COVID. Millions of people died when.
No, I'm not talking about the elections. I'm talking about after it was over. I'm talking about, you think JD Vance wouldn't have did what Mike Pence refused to do? Because that's not the law. That's what I'm saying.
That's a tough question.
JD Vance would have said that Donald Trump says, "Hey man, do what I tell you to do." Mike Pence look, I don't like Mike Pence, but he at least was like, "Man, I gotta do this. I can't. This is the law, right?" Okay.
Well, I'm going to say,
You're telling me JD Vance would do his job? I know, he's not.
Look, well, I'm gonna say this. I'm going to say I think he would have, but, and I'll give you the two reasons why. One, his aspirations to run for president.
That's right. He does want to be president, so it got to keep moving. That's the point.
Correct. That's the first and foremost. And two, he is an attorney, and for him to do that, oh man, they would have threw the book at his ass. They would have absolutely threw the book at his ass, because
who would be they?
You said what?
In this administration, who was they? They are the Justice Department.
No, I'm not talking about the administration. I'm talking about his law license, the law review. He still has to, because he has that law license, he is still bound by the fact that he is a lawyer. That so between him wanting to be the president of the United States and him knowing that he could be held accountable in a different kind of way, i.e. the law, because he is a lawyer. Yeah, I think he would have did that. That's where the buck would have stopped. And then he would have used that as a platform to uplift himself and to separate himself just enough so he wouldn't be associated with the pedophile in chief.
I can agree with you on the his self-interest being the biggest factor. But accountability is over. There is no accountability. Right.
Well, we'll just roll with the first reason. So yeah, I think he did the right thing.
All right, let's get to the survival tip of the day.
Okay, the survival tip of the day. And this is so important and timely based upon our conversation. If you don't vote, you don't count. I'm going to say it again. If you don't vote, you don't count. Now, let me break this down why it matters. Voting creates a paper trail of power. Complaints without participation don't move systems. Records do. Policies are decided by who shows up, not who's loud online.
Facts.
So local elections often come down to a few hundred votes. Your vote influences courts, schools, policing, housing, and healthcare long after the headlines fade. Number one, I want you to check your voter registration status. Number two, I want you to confirm your polling place or mail-in deadline. Number three, vote early if possible. Don't wait for the election day chaos. Number four, bring someone with you. Make sure you turn voting into a habit, not a moment. Because the bottom line, silence doesn't scare power. Participation does.
All right, man. We appreciate y'all for joining us. Like, subscribe, share the channel, and we out. All right, let's do one more quick one, 10-minute one.
Okay, what we gonna do it on?
We can do it on NBA YoungBoy.
Oh, I don't know about that. Tell me about NBA YoungBoy.
You know who NBA YoungBoy is, right?
Yeah, I know you're a rapper.
Well, I'll let you watch it.
Well, tell me roughly about the topic so I can build the
It's about his him co-signing Trump.
Welcome to Culpability, where taking charge of your personal safety is now in your hands. If you ever feel threatened, then use our SOS feature to instantly activate video and audio recording, ensuring your safety. Your emergency contacts are then immediately alerted with real-time links that include your exact GPS location. They can then see and hear everything in real time and offer immediate assistance in emergencies. More than that, you can also look for resources, post your daily experiences, and create safe private circles for your friends and teams to join on Culpability's socially responsible platform. It's everyone's responsibility to be responsible, so don't wait anymore and download Culpability now.